it's me, Jess. Welcome to my channel. I'm here today with another channeled message. This is a specific message. It might resonate with your situation, it might not. Okay, so I was just out for a run and I was channeling something to do with pride is not the same thing as vanity. And I feel like this is a major spiritual lesson that you were meant to learn via some kind of mirroring and an exchange, and I think a fallout here between yourself and another person. So there was a misattribution of pride and vanity. Now I'm going to speak as if it's you who has kind of had this misattribution, but flip the energies if you need to make sense of this. But this is to aid in your spiritual processing. So I feel like you might have a complex here about something to do with yourself, and this would be something that either you can't change at all, or if you can change it, you can't change it easily. And I think that you are kind of fixated on this here within yourself, and it has become a lens through which you see the world, and specifically it's a lens that you saw this person and your interactions with this person through, and it actually colored something in the wrong way, because I feel like this person didn't have an issue with whatever complex you have about yourself. That wasn't, I just heard it wasn't even a blip on their radar. They didn't take issue with that at all. And instead, they did have issue with you though. They took issue with something that was like behavior oriented, something that you did, and then maybe didn't take appropriate accountability for, but you didn't take accountability because you just assumed, or you just had it in your mind that this person was judging you based on something that you are the one that holds some kind of major complex here about. Now, I want to actually bring this to the issue of pride here really quick, because pride may have been a trigger here, or a misattribution of that pride. Somebody could have thought that somebody was being vain. But okay, so vanity is like an emotion that is that we have. It's an image we hold about ourselves based on like how other people view us. So you actually might have been the one in this energy. You were actually, your vanity could have been wounded here, or you could have been the one that was more vain in a healthy way, or I don't even know that vanity can be healthy, but in a way that made you feel good, or in a way that made you feel bad. You could have actually been the one in the energy of vanity, but you projected that out onto this person, calling them vain, when really this person may have had a healthy sense of pride that was a trigger to you, because you were in that energy of the complex, if that makes sense. And so I want to zoom in on that, because pride, in contrast to vanity, which is an emotion about how we think others feel about us, and then in turn how that makes us feel about ourselves, pride is an emotion that is self-centered. And I don't mean that in like with a negative connotation. It is centered around how we feel about ourselves, right? And so I think somebody here may have had a healthy sense of pride. And I'm hearing so. Somebody here may have taken issue with somebody, felt like somebody didn't deserve, shouldn't have. It was a problem that they had some kind of healthy sense of pride, that they had a sense of esteem about themselves. And I am hearing that quote that says, if you want to have high self-esteem, do esteemable things. And the universe is saying, why would you take issue with that? It's wonderful that somebody holds themselves in esteem when they've worked really hard to accomplish certain things. And this is like intrinsic things. You know, they've done their processing, they're oriented very well within themselves, you know, or somebody who has, you know, worked really hard towards like an accomplishment or something. Somebody should feel proud, and they should be allowed and encouraged to feel proud. That's a different emotion than vanity. But I feel like this was a trigger for you because of the energy that you were in. And you actually might have been in the energy of negative pride, where you puffed up your chest to do with something that maybe you shouldn't have been feeling proud about. Maybe the right move was actually to do some self-reflecting and come to the realization that maybe you did behave in a way that warranted an apology. Or a correction in your behavior. And I feel like maybe you couldn't have seen that because something about this person being great, you hold this person in high esteem as well. You think this person is great, and therefore you think this person had an elevated opinion of themselves. And maybe they did, but somebody here is actually they have a healthy orientation around that. And the last thing I want to say here before I wrap this up is that insecure people are really responsible for a lot of carnage. It's not a point of pride. There's a way to judge yourself against somebody else or against even an external metric that is neutral and genuinely objective. So when we're confronted with something that is kind of outperforming us or kind of represents something here, a healthy way that we can relate to that is by becoming inspired. And I feel like I'm being told to ask you to ask yourself, why were you not inspired? You could have been inspired, but instead you were triggered, and then maybe you tried to tear this person down. And I'm hearing insecure people try to grow tall by cutting off the heads of others. Again, instead of working on something here, if it can be worked on at all. So they're saying, again, this is to help you with your spiritual processing. So if it's something here that an action can be taken, something can be done, that's the spiritual lesson, is you could have allowed yourself, instead of feeling, like this was immovable, you could have allowed yourself to be inspired to take some kind of similar action in your life and then actually change that, feeling from the inside out, actually really do something about it, get to know this person, ask them questions, how did you go about doing this? What were the pitfalls? That kind of thing. If it's something you can't change about yourself, the spiritual lesson here is acceptance. And it's disentangling your worth and your identity from whatever that is. But it's can I be okay? There's people out there that are going to love me or could love me if I behaved, well towards them, despite whatever this is that I feel inadequate or, is something that people are going to judge about me, But yeah, that's what I have for you guys. There is a difference between pride and vanity. And I do feel like this is meant to be a jump off point for your spiritual reflection on this situation. Bye.